Coming to you live from Dunning Field for New Canaan Darien Boys Lacrosse. It's a joint live stream between NCTV 78 and DAF Media for a battle between the #1 team in the state of Connecticut, the 13-1 Darien Blue Wave, and the 10-4 New Canaan Rams, who are currently ranked second in the state, looking to knock down the Blue Wave as Darien has gotten the better of the Rams in each of their last 8 matchups spanning the last 5 seasons. We'll bring you up to the booth here. Ian Nicholas joining you on the call alongside our lacrosse experts, a former player in the Darien program, John Reynolds, and a former New Canaan lacrosse player and former hockey star Carter Ellis. Guys, thanks so much for joining me in a game that hopefully lives up a little bit more to the hype than that first game did, Carter. You were there for that one when Darien ran through New Canaan 15-6 earlier in the year, but this New Canaan team has definitely changed since that first game.
Yeah, Ian, that was definitely a wake-up call for this New Canaan squad. They were able to make some changes. Coach Buzzio definitely relayed some good messages, and they used that as a learning experience to bounce back and have a better season. So we're probably going to see a different New Canaan team out here than we did at Darien Stadium.
Hopefully we do. Hopefully it's a little closer than a 9-goal differential. John, even though you probably want Darien to win a little bit more of a New Canaan, let's hope it's a little bit closer. And one guy that Darien's going to rely on, just like they have throughout his last 2 years at the varsity level, to play like a star in between the cage. It's Andy Demopoulos, who he just added a really good accolade to his star-studded career.
Yes. Yesterday, Andy got his Under Armour All-American recognition, and he well-deserved. He's locked down a net his entire high school career here with the Blue Wave, and couldn't be more deserving. He's also off to Brown next year, and we're looking forward to a good performance from Andy today.
Yep, Coach Jeff Braymeyer, he figures out how to work his talent, and his teams are always great. But when you have a player like Andy in that, it makes your job a lot easier as a coach. And a guy who looks to make Andy's job a little bit harder today is Chris Connect. Carter, we all know #2 for New Canaan, headed to UPenn next year, is a superstar, and he has certainly lived up to the hype in his senior season so far with his shot-making ability.
Yeah, Ian, Chris Connect, definitely a name that we know on the football field and lacrosse field, headed to UPenn, as you said. Chris had 2 goals against Demopoulos last game. They played against Darien. So he's definitely going to make Andy's job a little bit harder. And that's, him right there being a leader for his team. So not only is his skill set unmatched, but, brings his guys together.
Yep, he's one of the 5 senior captains on this New Canaan team. Definitely the most vocal and one of those guys who can really just rally the troops like few can. And, John, for this Darien group of guys, they've got great players all around, but who are a few of the guys vocally who lead the Blue Wave on the field, and they're going to get in your ear if you're screwing up out there?
Exactly. That defense, we have a really good senior class out of Darien this year with obviously Andy and net. We have Holt Mathias going off to Georgetown next year, as well as Oliver Bolton going to Coast Guard, and Sam Erickson off to Army. So those are all senior senior leaders that are gonna get on you, especially in this matchup versus New Canaan, where they're gonna be looking to get out there fast, hard, and put some goals away.
And speaking of matchups for New Canaan, Carter, one that they're going to have to win more than they did last time was right at the face-off. Ty Comiskey, the junior for Darien. He's one of the top in the nation in what he does, but a guy who's really improved his game and is playing more like a college commit, which he is, headed to Trinity next year, is Hayden Shin. What does Hayden need to do right now at the face-off in order to make it a 50-50 battle and to give New Canaan the much-needed possessions that they need to go ahead in this game early and keep it close offensively?
If Hayden plays the exact same way he did in that first half against Richfield, which he absolutely dominated the face-off I can't exactly remember, maybe lost one face-off, then he will have an absolute, great game today. So if he can play the exact same way, then we'll have a great competition at the face-off X.
Hopefully, we do have that matchup. We are 20 seconds away from the start of this game. We'll head to the national anthem right now. We'll be right back with New Canaan and Darien boys lacrosse, the best team in the state and the 12th best team nationally. The Blue Wave looking to stay undefeated in FCAC play up against the New Canaan Rams. Ian Nicholas and company will be back just a few seconds with this one.
Good afternoon. Welcome to today's lacrosse game between the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams. We ask that you please stand now for the playing of our national anthem. Hold on, please, for a second. Due to a technical difficulty, it looks like we will not have that today.
Hey, we're back here. Ian Nicholas hopping back on the mic to let you know that there are a few technical difficulties with the playing of the national anthem right now from Dunning Field. So again, we should be jump-starting this one in just a few moments as we are getting the crew together. Our athletic director, New Canaan, Jay Egan, doing what he does best, fixing these problems last minute, trying to get the anthem up and running so we can get this game going, a game which New Canaan has really looked forward to playing after getting shellacked on the road to Darien on April 24th. Here we are nearly 1 month later. New Canaan has won 7 of their last 8 games, defeating every single team except the 11th best team in the country, Brunswick, 14-8. So let's see how this one pans out. Trying to work through the technical difficulties. We might go without the national anthem being played, so let's just stay patriotic with our actions. Let's hope the student section stay patriotic here and civil between two towns that love to match up against each other. It's the New Canaan Rams, the Darien Blue Wave, and this joint production between NCTV 78 and DAF Media.
Play ball, right, Ian?
Play ball, as the great Bill Brown would say, our phenomenal PA announcer. Not here today as he has just recently actually picked up his 300th career win as the New Canaan boys golf coach. So shout out to Bill Brown, who is who's busy doing his thing. Players are going to meet up in the middle for New Canaan and for Darien.
It'll be a coin toss.
Well, coin toss here. New Canaan, Darien, we do things a lot differently when the big rivalry comes out. We got Holden Busby and Andy Demopoulos shaking hands, going to their respective nets, and the handshakes will ensue. Darien has defeated New Canaan 8 straight times, and in the last 2 times they've matched up, they've defeated New Canaan by 8 goals or more. The last time these two teams matched up at Dunning Field, and the 2019 regular season, Darien got the better of the Rams 12-4. And, John, you were out on the field. What went right for Darien that day?
You know, it's what Coach B always tells us before these New Canaan games, that it's there's a lot of hype around playing New Canaan, obviously. But, you know, you have to think, as you just said, we have an 8-game winning streak over New Canaan. We like to say people like to say it's a rivalry, but when you look at the stats, Doesn't seem to really be a rivalry.
It's been more one-sided recently, John. Let's see if today, on a beautiful 75-degree day from Dunning, those things change. Darien is going to get the first possession of the game as Jamison Moore scoops up the loose ball. Ty Comiskey wins his first draw, and Darien is going to get the opening possession. Here's number 3, Matthew Minikis, committed to Loyola, defended by the star freshman Dylan Stevens. They find the man in front of the net, and he scores! Connor O'Malley makes it 1-0 Blue Wave, 42 seconds into it, off the assist from Matthew Minikis. Tell us about how that one developed. A beautiful pass and a nice finish inside.
You know, that's exactly what we're looking for at these big games. We want to come out, start the game off hard and strong and put them away out the gate, show them why, Darien Lacrosse is what he is. And that's what we like to see. Minikis going right to the net with that assist with Connor O'Malley, who is going to Washington and Lee football, I believe.
Yes, Washington and Lee football commit.
So another strong senior presence here on the field to lead the Blue Wave and start this game off right.
Comiskey wins his second straight draw up against New Canaan's Trinity-bound Hayden Shin. And ball back into the hands of Connor O'Malley, the Washington and Lee football commit and a star lacrosse player as well. Not even 45 seconds into this game, and Darien went up 1-0. They've got it again. Mishandled in front of the net by Minikis. And back to Holden Busby. Dylan Murray gives it to him. And a much-needed break for New Canaan as Minikis had another good look in front of a crease, and he bobbled it up. Busby clears it to Dylan Murray, the junior. New Canaan looking to settle in. Here's Michael Norton, another junior for the Rams.
Yeah, Norton steps in the box there to get things started for this Rams offense. There's the star, Chris Connett, that we were just talking about. Let's see if he can get something started to even his playing field early in the game.
Connett scored 2 of the Rams' 6 goals when they met up the first time around, and Nick Stiles just turned it over, trying to find sophomore Tommy Augustine behind the net, and he misfired on that pass. So these teams exchange turnovers in the early going. A risky pass. Good defense from New Canaan's Chad Russo, breaking that one up to Sam Erickson.
Yeah, as New Canaan has just also eased some of their COVID restrictions for the vaccinated fans. You can definitely hear the New Canaan crowd getting rowdy after that Chad Russo forced turnover.
Another New Canaan turnover. Augustine again behind the cage having some problems. Darien looks to clear. Demopoulos gives it up, and the Blue Wave on the move as they clear it so seamlessly, John.
Yep, that's what we like to see. Like, that was a good stop on that last clear from Erickson, but I doubt that you're going to be seeing much more of that. That's what that type of stuff, that transitions, what New Canaan is going to have to capitalize in a game like this if they want to keep it close here.
Coming right off the sideline and scoring for Darien, number 18, Finn Picorni. The junior came right off the sideline and scored. The Richmond-bound Finn Picorni makes it 2-0 Darien. 9:25 left to go in the first half. That was just too easy.
Ridiculous.
You saw him coming all the way.
Right out the box. He just bombing right in. You can't leave that kid, wide open. Him and his brother. They're both gonna. If you leave them open and you're not right on their hip, they're gonna take advantage of that.
Picorni had 2 assists in the first matchup between these two teams a month ago. He now adds a goal. Comiskey looks to win his 3rd straight draw. Shin's fighting for it, and the loose ball scooped up by Ryan Coyote. So New Canaan wins their first draw of the afternoon, and they already are down 2-0 after goals from Matt Minikis and Finn Picorni, 2 terrific juniors.
So, John, something that I've noticed, that Darien is so good at capitalizing on those clears and off of New Canaan turnovers, both games that I've seen them play. So what has Coach Brandmeier, told you when you played there on how to capitalize on those opportunities?
He always emphasized to the attackman, that's the time that you show effort and you show, what Darien's about. Even though you lost that possession down there, that's when you make up for that, when you're riding those clears from the New Canaan side. And with the defense, you got to lock down the attackman on the other side to make sure they can't get an easy break over. So that's the big difference maker in Darien is you got to cross every T and dot every I and never let up, even if you make a mistake like that and turn over the ball.
Nick Stiles missing the shot for New Canaan, and Darien running towards the far alley to gain possession. So the Blue Wave dominating time of possession early after a couple New Canaan turnovers. Here's Christian Allegro, the Air Force-bound man. Allegro met by Braden Sweeney. Darien moving around the perimeter now. 8 minutes left to go in quarter number 1, looking to extend the lead. A screen given. Vincognetta providing the defense. The shot hoisted, deflected away. Darien gets the rebound. It's number 3, Matthew Minikis. Inside, they score. Darien goes up 3-0 off a shot just off the left side of the crease.
It's going to be from number 15, Danny Lau. Danny's going off to Swarthmore with New Cannon's own
Charlie Borthwick.
Borthwick, yep.
They're frenemies now, friends later.
They'll meet, yeah.
They'll meet.
They'll meet.
These are some great black jerseys for Darien, but they make finding those numbers a wee bit difficult.
That's true. On these hot days, too, it makes it a little difficult. But
you got to slow down the Blue Wave somehow.
Yep.
Darien trying to get the loose ball, and they do. Number 55, Jeremiah Stafford, another Air Force-bound member of the Blue Wave, is going to find that one. A phenomenal start to this game, guys, for Ty Comiskey. He's dominating up against Hayden Shin right now.
That's right, Ian. Already has 3 wins to Shin's own 1, so definitely dominating thus far.
It was actually a closer matchup statistically the last time around as Darien moves inside, shoots, and scores. It's going to be number 18, Finn Picorni, who adds his second made shot of the afternoon, in the Blue Wave look like the Blue Wave right now. They are up 4-0 with 7:10 left to go in the first quarter.
That's how we like to come out of the gate here. That's what we always talk about. You have to come off ready to fire, ready to rip. That's why we take so much time to focus and do our warm-up and, get in our rhythm before we come out to a big game like this.
Ian, what I'm starting to notice is Chris Connett definitely playing a little bit more defense.
Well, you said more defense, and Darien said more offense from Brady Picorni. The freshman makes it 5-0 Blue Wave just 12 seconds after the goal from his older brother, Finn Picorni. New Canaan needs a timeout. They're down 5-0.
Brady having an unbelievable season up to this point. I believe he is still the leading scorer for the Blue Wave. Either that or Minikis is right above him. But that the Picorni's today on fire here to start off the game.
And what a quick rhythm, Carter, to this Darien offense. Hey, they're not even giving you guys a chance to analyze the goals. They're just coming rapid fire. They're not even getting set in an offensive formation. It's just shoot and score.
Everything's moving so fast. It's ironic that they scored right when I was talking about Coach Buzzio's change of defense by trying to put Chris Connett back there. I mean, he had him at the face-off to try to help Hayden Shin get something going there, and he's had him in the defensive zone a little bit more also. And just, he hasn't been able to get anything going yet, and that's why he called a timeout, just to regroup his guys and get off on a better foot.
Well, still plenty of time left in this game. 5 minutes, 2 seconds of game time. 5 Darien goals between 3 different goal scorers. Picorni, both the Picornis, they have 3 combined goals.
Yep.
And Matt Minikis, I believe, has 1 or 2 of his own. Carter, I know you're keeping tab of the stats.
I have O'Malley with 1, the older Picorni with 2, Danny Lau with 1, and Brady Picorni with 1 as well.
Right.
Minikis with an assist, so weren't too far off on that.
And Comiskey with another draw
Comiskey with his 5th draw.
Continuing to show why the junior, when he commits to a college, will be committing to one of the top lacrosse institutions in the nation with what he can do there in the middle of the field.
He's a real workhorse. He always, it's hard being a Fogo, but he always sticks with it. He's had a lot of shots off the face-off. I did the Greenwich game a few weeks ago, and I believe he scored right out the gate. And he had a couple shots in the Glastonbury game. So that's a really versatile Fogo, and that's what you like to see, and that's what comes out of Darien there.
Minikis' shot is deflected by Busby, but he couldn't get it in his stick, so it popped off the top bar of the net, and Darien scooped it up for yet another possession, as we are now halfway through this first quarter, and it's all Blue Wave up 5-0. Darien looking to attack again. They find a pass. The shot from the wing, it misses. Stevens looking for the loose ball. Now here's Norton. Norton finds it for New Canaan, and he is getting whacked. The ball's poked loose. Norton's there, though. He's stumbling. And the ball, still no clear possession as Callum Wood can't get there either. Blistering defense from the Blue Wave in the middle of the field, and possession will be awarded to New Canaan after an illegal stick check probably from Darien.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. So that's that type of transition that New Canaan needs to start capitalize, settle down when they're, if they get a shot or get a pickup on their end, and just bring it down to their end and slow down the game if they want to have any hope here to get some goals in.
Let's see Carter Connors as the ball stripped from him, and the goalie comes out of his cage. Demopoulos, the Under Armour All-American. They're in some trouble. Augustine in and out of his stick with no one in goal for Darien. A blown opportunity for New Canaan as an easy clear for Allegro.
Tapping it in the box down here.
The junior. Wow, that was a near disaster for Darien, John.
That's the type of stuff you gotta be careful there. Keep playing team offense down here. We said earlier it's been more of an individual game on the transition with these goals, but Darien seems to be settling it down and trying to run some plays to keep it a little more settled.
Allegro is going to unsettle the New Canaan defense, spinning to his left and scoring around Michael Norton. Allegro adds his first goal of the game, and Darien up 6-0. 4:39 left to go in the opening quarter. They took a little bit more time there, and it's still the same result.
Exactly. Allegro, he saw his opportunity there. He had to step in and just take it, got top side of his defender, and put it away. When you have a shot like that, it's hard to settle it down. Even when you're this hot, you don't want to stop it.
Shannon Comiskey back at the draw, violation, and it's going to be Darien possession. After a violation from Hayden Shin. Ian Nicholas, John Reynolds, Carter Ellis, the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action alongside DAF Media, a joint stream. And Darien looking like one of the top 15 teams of the nation right now in the latest U.S. Nike Lacrosse poll. They're ranked 11. Dylan Stevens provides the defense. Darien weaving and bobbing inside. Minikis misses the shot and then shoved from behind, and multiple flags are thrown. Still fighting for the loose ball. No one clear possession. Finally, play is stopped as New Canaan's number 28, Max Alert, was under attack, and
we got a push from Danny Lau right there.
So New Canaan's going to be man up. Lau will head to the box, and they'll be man up for probably a minute or 2 minutes.
We will see.
So a little bit of a glitch with the score bug here at Dunning Field, the scoreboard, and just the communication between the people in the booth and the refs on the field. New Canaan will set up shop for this possession. Just under 4 minutes left to go in the quarter. Still looking for that first goal. A lot of turnovers and sloppy play so far. The shot inside misses wide right from Nick Stiles. Off the pass from Chris Canet. Still New Canaan ball. Vin Cognetta plays back on that one to keep it with the Rams. New Canaan just cannot break this Darien wall defensively. No look pass to Chris Canet on the wing. Demopoulos deflects it away, and it's scooped up by number 12, Jamison Moore. Darien looking to clear. Really a beam up the field. It somehow does not find Matthew Minikis. A risky pass from David Ivanchuk.
Yeah. Especially on that man down, you want to try to burn as much of that as possible.
So still not sure because of the scoreboard malfunction just how long New Canaan will be man up. Looks like just a few more seconds of that. quick penalty on Lau.
Stafford playing that hard, aggressive defense out there, almost causing a turnover.
Yep, Ryan Coyote, the Bucknell commit, nearly gave it up. Here's Chris Connett. He's drawing a double. Harry Apelt swings it over. Spin from Coyote. Coyote shoots. He misses wide left. Still New Canaan ball. Augustine behind the cage.
Right, John, as you said, aggressive is absolutely the name of the game here for this Darien defense. Chris Connett with the only shot on goal, which resulted in turnover, and just the offense for New Canaan not able to get anything going.
Connett
Except for
speeds to
Connett's
his
goal.
Connett speeds to his right, and finally someone breaks the Demopolis wall. Connett, the star of the Rams, brings some life to New Canaan with 2:34 left to go in the opening quarter. Still 6-1 Blue Wave.
I have to say that is a beautiful bouncer from New Canaan. That's what it's going to take to get by Demopolis.
That's exactly right, John. Ian, I don't know if you remember, as I was telling you on that Ridgefield game, as my own perspective as a former goalie, it's so hard to go into an opponent's stadium because each field has different bounce to it, and you don't know how it's going to play out. So that's exactly what New Canaan is probably going to do with Demopolis here to try to beat him just by a fluke like that.
Ooh, nearly picked off from Dylan Murray. Max Alert's under it for New Canaan. Murray still fighting for it. Murray will gain possession for New Canaan. They were playing a little bit behind in the numbers game after some collisions in the middle of the field after the faceoff, but New Canaan recovers defensively and looks to clear. Heck, everything has a factor in these rivalry games, even how much bounce the turf has. Just under 2 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. New Canaan looking for a second straight goal. Augustine, who had 2 goals in their first matchup, then missed a good chunk of time with an ankle injury. Gives it up. Norton moves right. Stiles gives it up to Callum Wood, the Tufts commit. New Canaan seems to be moving in the wrong direction offensively right now. Not north and south, but more east and west, as they can't really get any good inside look. Augustine tries to wrap around, spins inside nicely, and that's an easy score for Tommy Augustine. Augustine with the spin, and New Canaan pulls back to within 4 with a little over a minute left in the quarter. Carter, really nice work there from Augustine.
What an impressive spin move. I mean, that sophomore Tommy Augustine's really showing off what he can do. Putting it right between Demopolis' legs, Definitely not easy to do, even though he's definitely a tall guy. He knows how to get down. Just Augustine definitely showing how he's a go-to attackman for Buzzio.
Getting around that Sam Erickson, too, is a tough look. Or it's a good look for him.
Erickson, the Army commit. Max Alert lost his stick, so it's going to be New Canaan possession as it's a violation on Darien. New Canaan's got life once again. Excuse me, it's going to be Darien possession, excuse me. Too many excuse me. Darien takes over in the middle of the field. I think they called it a travel. I saw a travel. I don't know what that means in the grand scheme of things, but he lost his stick. And he had possession. 40 seconds left in the opening quarter. 2 unanswered goals for New Canaan. Darien looking to slow him down. They find the cutter. He's met by Braden Sweeney, and Busby couldn't scoop it up, so it's still Darien possession.
This is where Darien's going to try to, sneak a last-minute goal in to keep their momentum high.
Here's Picorni, the younger one, Brady, the freshman, who already has a goal. Now here's number 18, Danny Lau. Lau moves left. Gives it up. No, he loses it. Dylan Stevens forcing it. Darien keeps it in bounds. Stevens finds it with his long stick. He's being dogged. And a bad pass from him. Braden Sweeney can't find it. 1 second. No time for the shot. And he is lit up. And that was after the play. So that really did not count for anything. That's the end of 1 quarter here from New Canaan High. The emotions running high right now, guys. Darien pouncing on the Rams with a 6-0 start. But then New Canaan, thanks to a really hero ball shot from Chris Connett and then Tommy Augustine. Those are the 2 guys, Carter, who really made the only guys who had an impact in that last game for New Canaan, Augustine and Connect. And again, they are stepping their game up a level to keep the Rams in this thing.
Those are two names that we're definitely used to seeing on this New Canaan stat sheet. And despite the 4-goal deficit, New Canaan is actually doing quite a good job. I mean, they've only won 1 out of their 9 faceoffs.
Yeah.
So considering that and how good at Darien is of capitalizing off their faceoff opportunities, I see this as a huge win for New Canaan. And hopefully Buzzio can just get something going at the faceoff dot to even the playing field a little bit more.
Yeah, it seems like they came out kind of slow from New Canaan, but they're starting to figure it out on those transitions and seeing where their weak spots are. But it's going to be hard to, stop the momentum here from Darien. So we'll see if they can do it here in the second quarter.
Defensively, Carter, are you seeing anything from Darien that they need to tighten up after giving up those last 2 goals, or really just stick with the game plan?
Defensively, I think they need to stick with the game plan, truthfully. I mean, they're so quick to get to the other offensive men. I mean, New Canaan is playing such a tight offense, and it's so easy for the Darien guys, to get to them. And they're playing a lot of, double man opportunities, and they're doing everything they need to do. So I think just stick with what they're doing.
So let's see how it goes as both teams will go back to their huddles as we need a little bit of extra time here from New Canaan High to get the scoreboard up and running as it should. So hopefully that will be up and running. Again, the score, 6 Darien, 2 New Canaan. Darien looking to win their 9th straight game up against the New Canaan boys program. Darien led by legendary head coach Jeff Braymeyer, currently with the 6th most career wins all time for a high school boys lacrosse coach in the nation with 611 of them. He's been with Darien since 1984. Don't quote me on that. He has had a winning season every single year since 1987. And with this Darien program, 17 FCAC titles and 13 state titles, John. It's almost like every single year, if you're a member of that program, you expect to be playing in those big games, and you've been trained from a young age to be ready for the big moment.
That's what the Darien programs drills into you from a young age, from Blue Wave buddies all the way up through the high school, that it's a privilege to play for this team, and everyone wants to do their part in carrying the torch on and the winning streak on.
So good news is the score bug is back up here. So 6 Darien, 2 New Canaan. Darien, the defending state champions after defeating, not sure who they defeated. It might have been, it was Wilton. In the state championship game, the team at New Canaan beat in the FCAC championship that year as well. So New Canaan, the defending FCAC champ. Darien, the defending state champs. They meet up here. The Blue Wave, as you see from their record, 13-1 when they play everybody, 9-0 with their FCAC record. New Canaan still has a chance to get the 1 seed because although they're 10-4 overall, their FCAC record is 8-1. These teams are 1-2 in the FCAC East Division. And if New Canaan wins out against Darien today and number 4 ranked Staples on Saturday, then they could still be the 1 seed in the FCAC tournament starting next Monday. But if Darien plays the way they are right now, they could easily lock it up right here. Let's see how the rest of this game plays out. Start of the second quarter. And this joint live stream between NCTV and DAF Media. Darien moving fast off the left pole and out of the park.
Great shot by Matthew Minikis there. Almost got over the left shoulder of Busby.
Yeah.
But Busby came out hot after that timeout called by Buzzio, making his only 3 saves after that 6th goal in a timeout. So hopefully he keeps that momentum going for this New Canaan side.
Faking the shot, now moving right is Connor O'Malley. O'Malley gives it up to Matthew Minikis. Minikis to his left, and that shot goes through the uprights. Deflected away, it will stay in Darien possession.
Deflected away it was by Dylan Stevens, the freshman. Definitely making a name for himself in this town. Making a huge impact for this New Canaan defense.
Yep, Dylan Stevens and Brady Picorni, those two better get to know each other.
I was going to say, yeah, they're going to be seeing each other a lot for the next 4 years here.
That they will. Who knows, maybe they'll end up going to college together. I mean, a few guys already are. Darien, 20 players. Yes, 20 players committed to play college lacrosse somewhere. New Canaan, 9 of them. Ball poked loose by Vin Cognetta, but retained by Finn Picorni. junior on junior. Just under 10.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Stevens providing the defense, moving inside, shooting deflected away by Busby, was the shot by Matthew Minikis. New Canaan looks to clear.
Ian, you can talk about this a little bit. There's quite a few guys on the New Canaan and Darien side who played football, both Ty Comiskey and Vin Cognetta, both stars, and Chris Connett, of course, stars on both fields. What type of impact have they had?
Well, I played JV football. Know Chris Connett really well as a football player, and I knew him as a football player before I knew him as a lacrosse player. And he was special. I mean, he could return a kick to the house with ease, superstar safety. He was a great offensive player in his youth days. I know Darien, Matt Minikis, I know the private league didn't really count officially, but, man, was he a great player. He had 4 touchdowns against New Canaan as a receiver in the private league game they played this year. That's why he's going to Washington and Lee to continue his career next year. Another shot deflecting off a pole for Darien. New Canaan possession here in the second quarter. Here's Connett looking for goal number 2. Gives it up. Augustine looks to go high. He's denied by Demopoulos, and a flag is thrown. That one could be on the goalie.
It is on Demopoulos.
I believe so.
Definitely expressing his frustration off of that call as Augustine absolutely hits the floor.
Let's see. It doesn't look like Demopoulos is going to check out. I believe Darien has 2 more goaltenders who are committed to a college, though. So talk about having depth in the room. Demopoulos stays in there, though.
Well, Ian, when a goalie gets a foul, most of the time, John, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure one of the defensemen would check out for him.
I did, yes. Someone ran off the field for him there, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's David Ivanchik.
Yep. So David Ivanchik checks out, and New Canaan is man up for the next 52 seconds. Can they add goal number 3 on the game? Cognetta moves it over to Wood. Back to Cognetta. Looking inside for Connett. It's bopped up in the air. New Canaan and Darien running for it. Harry Apel looking to get under it. Darien finds it off a long stick of number 2. Oliver Bolton. And it goes right back to New Canaan. Bolton can't control it alongside the near alley.
New Canaan's here trying to put it in the back of the net because they need to capitalize on this man up opportunity.
New Canaan still man up for 23 seconds following the foul from the goalie, Andy Demopoulos, who stays in. But Ivanchik checks out defensively. Connett just rips one right into the stick of Demopoulos, and Demopoulos takes it out of the cage and clears it himself.
Looking it up the field here.
Demopoulos works it up to number 8, Joe Caesar. And Darien has the possession, and they are officially back to even. No more man up for New Canaan.
I got a little excited there when Demopoulos started running. I mean, the Fairfield Prep goalie, it was Sam Cargill, scored. I think it was against Wilton. It might have been. I think he scored the go-ahead goal, in that game. It could have been an interesting play in a rivalry game such as New Canaan and Darien.
Yeah, and last week in the Glastonbury game, I mean, I know it's more common off a draw to do it, but Hayden Shin scoring off a draw, Ty Comiskey scoring off a draw. The last time these two teams played, a turnover. Darien looking for a foul. They won't get it. Running is Dylan Murray. Murray whistles blow. Coach Chip Buzzio calls a timeout. 7:33 left to go in the second quarter. He knows how big of an opportunity this is, John.
Yep.
And he is going to, as we go back to the booth here, he is going to try to draw up something after Dylan Murray clears it.
Yeah, with the 6-2 lead here from the Blue Wave, they're going to need to capitalize on some of these opportunities a little more with not putting one away in that man-up opportunity. He's going to want to try to have some settled possession right here and put one away to get it going for the New Canaan Rams.
That's right, John. I'm pretty sure Darien scored all 6 of their goals, at the same time mark last quarter. So New Canaan's definitely found a new game plan, turned some things around, and playing a lot better.
That they are. The score a bit misleading as Darien put up those 6 goals in a hurry. And ever since the waning moments of the first quarter, New Canaan with a good amount of momentum, making a really big play defensively. No foul was called. Darien was looking for one. Dylan Murray clears it. And it's New Canaan ball. On this joint live stream between NCTV 78 and DAF Media, Ian Nicholas, John Reynolds, Carter Ellis, NCTV 78 and DAF Media bringing you the live coverage of this one. So make sure you like and subscribe to whichever channel you're watching because, like it or not, if you're a fan of New Canaan or Darien Boys Lacrosse, you're going to have to be tuning into our live streams next week because on Monday, NCTV will be streaming both quarterfinal games for the boys and girls lacrosse teams. DAF Media should be live streaming the quarterfinals for the boys and girls of Darien as well. The FCX semifinals for the boys will be hosted here at Dunning, and for the girls, they'll be over at Wilton. So we'll have the boys' streams. Darien will have the girls' streams and DAF Media as Connor Bailey moves inside. And then next Friday, both the championship games will be here, and we will be simulcasting both of those games on NCTV and DAF Media. Carter Connors spins around. A flag is thrown. Looks like that one could be on number 8, Joe Caesar. New Canaan taking their time behind the cage. Off the Chip Buzzio timeout. Augustine moves it to Norton. New Canaan rolling with a younger lineup here. A lot of juniors as Connor Bailey moves right. Nick Stiles backpedals. Looking for his first goal of the game. He scored one of them in their last matchup. Callum Wood falls and scores off the assist from Nick Stiles. Callum Wood finds the back of the net as he lunges and scores from around the cage.
Yeah, it's a hard one for the Darien defense. They have a solid lead here, but they will have to lock it down, work on a backup there for number 2, Oliver Bolton. It's very that won't happen again. I'll show you that.
Callum Wood Carter, he is so quick to score once he gets the ball on that stick. It's very, very rushed. He knows what he wants to do almost immediately when he gets it.
Callum Wood is such a poised player, and he's an absolute steamroller when he gets the ball on his stick. It's definitely something that New Canaan offense needs to do is get him rolling a little bit more. He needs to see a little more possession, which he hasn't gotten a lot of this year. You see, he's definitely playing a little bit of defense there on Comiskey.
Timeout is called. Comiskey won't have a chance to really turn that up and do anything with it. Called by Coach Jeff Braymeyer. New Canaan has now scored 3 unanswered goals, and it looks like New Canaan is also going to be man up off the timeout as there was a foul on Joe Caesar. So for the next 52 seconds, New Canaan will be man up, but luckily Joe, Darien has the possession so they can wisely off his timeout. If they play well with the ball, run it out.
Yep, they're just going to have to keep possession, move the ball around, not do anything, crazy. We practice that Darien practices that a lot. At the end of practices, our scrimmages, we just settle it down. And just for moments like these, every 52 seconds counts at a game like this. You never know when it could get turned around. So
goals for New Canaan on the 3 unanswered goals coming from Chris Kinnett, Tommy Augustine, and Callum Wood. And all of them unassisted goals, pretty much, for the most part. That last one, maybe you could give a bit of love towards Nick Stiles for finding Callum Wood. Senior to senior, MIT commit to Tufts commit. And we've got a ball game once again. Did not look like it midway through the first quarter. It looked like Darien was going to run away with this one just like they did 2 years ago. But it just feels different this time around, Joe. New Canaan, they have settled in.
Yeah, I think both teams are eager to get out here and continue these games playing each other after not having a season last year. I know I'm happy to see the team out playing New Canaan, and I'm sure New Canaan is as well.
Well said, John, as Darien moving it. Bumped number 24, Christian Allegro. New Canaan man up for 30 seconds, but Darien retains the possession following the timeout. Darien behind the cage, looking for a wraparound. It's deflected by Busby. And Darien's racing for the ball, but they will not get there. Let's see the possession.
Darien
no, they
ball.
do.
We'll stay with Darien.
Matt Minikis hustling alongside New Canaan's Chad Russo, and Minikis wins that battle toward the sideline. Good hustle there.
Darien's just going to settle the ball here and burn out the last 5 seconds of their penalty.
That's exactly what Allegro's going to do here.
And exactly like you put it, they run out the penalty. So now evened up. Just under 5.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Darien looking to end this 3-0 New Canaan run. Here's the younger of the Picornis, Braden. Nice moves. But Brady, he is met by Dylan Murray.
Darien's looking to break this streak here and put one in. Keep the momentum that they once had in the beginning.
A wild shot from Allegro, deflected by Busby. Still loose, and Dylan Murray, who's been a ball magnet today defensively, clears it. Murray heads up, eliminating a potential rebound opportunity. Excuse me, that might not be Murray. No, it is Murray.
That was Murray.
Brayton Sweeney wears 91, he wears 21. And it was 21 Murray who cleared it.
So, John, a curious question for you.
Yeah.
On the New Canaan side, they have two freshmen, they have one freshman and one sophomore in Tommy Augustine that both start. So definitely a little bit of a younger team, whereas Darien doesn't have a single freshman rostered. Is this something that Jeff Breimeyer has always done, has kept freshmen out of the lineup? Or?
So I think Brady Picorni is on the starting lineup.
And
here.
Tommy Augustine is one of those young players you were praising, Carter. Augustine scores on a wide-range shot 10 yards away. His second goal of the game, and it's 6-4.
Yeah, Carter, but it's Brady Picorni. Coach B
That's
always
right.
says,
My bad.
"No, you're
Yeah.
good." He, it's unbelievable because we always have our beginning of the year meetings with Coach B with the whole team, and he kind of says, in my many years of doing lacrosse, not a lot of, very, very, very slim chance a freshman's going to start. But you have seen that. You've seen that play out here with Brady Picorni of he's that good.
Definitely a special kid.
He's a very special kid, special player. No doubtedly going to go somewhere very good for lacrosse. And
speaking of special guys, so is Tommy Augustine. Carter, that was a nice-looking shot. Break it down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Augustine just, he's able just to, whenever he wants to shoot it, just pinpoint it wherever he wants. And same as Styles and Wood, able to find the small cracks and crevices in the Darien defense. And that's what's so special about this New Canaan offense, is they have so much depth in their goal scorers.
Hayden Shin wins the draw. He has not won a lot of them up against Comiskey, but a big-time win there. 4 unanswered goals for New Canaan. Darien locks in defensively, though, so no easy goal off the face-off win. Connor Bailey, the junior, checks in, number 26 offensively. Bailey makes his move left, gets inside a defender, gives it up to Nick Styles. Styles facing some pressure, puts up the shot. It's wide left. It will stay with New Canaan thanks to number 7, Hayden Shin. Shin was still in the game on the Fogo, and finally he'll check out.
Same with Comiskey. They're both just racing off the field for each other.
And Comiskey wanted to beat him to the sideline. Those two competitive as it gets.
That's how these rivalry games are, Ian.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so interesting with the game of lacrosse. Darien scores 6 goals in the first quarter, and they're scoreless through the first 9 minutes of this one.
Mm-hmm. Bailey moves to his left, retreats, pumps the pass, keeps it with them, gets the screen, and a reset as they get it up to Norton. 3 minutes left in the half. New Canaan looking for goal number 5. Bailey playing at the X, defended by number 11, Patrick Thurlow, the junior. Bailey with like a bit of a Euro step move as he brings his stick over. Gives it up to Augustine. Norton spins. Norton shoots. It's wide and high. Still New Canaan possession as Callum Wood plays back. Wood looking for his second goal on the game. He had a really nice one earlier in this affair. They'll slow up the tempo here. Carter Connors gives it up to Wood. Wood using the shoulder. He's doubled. Bailey nearly loses it. Recollects himself. A long possession here as Bailey provides the screen for Styles. Styles puts up this shot, and it bounces in front of Demopoulos and out of play.
David Ivanchik did an absolutely wonderful job of breaking up Styles' stick there. The same matchup I saw, last time around when New Canaan was at Darien, and David Ivanchik is still doing David Ivanchik things, locking him down.
Tommy Augustine looking to do more of his things, but he gives it up. He's got 2 goals already, the same amount of goals he had the last time these two teams played about a month ago. Coyote on the move, gives it up to Ward. Turnaround shot will miss. Racing for the ball, and even though he dives, they don't get it. Still New Canaan possession. A minute 30 left in a half. New Canaan has held the ball for numerous minutes. Good screen from Apel, maybe too good. Is it an illegal screen?
It is an illegal screen.
It looks like it is. The Williams commit and the senior captain, Harry Apel, with the miscue, trying to free up Connor Bailey, and it's Darien ball.
Yeah, this last minute here, Darien's gonna want to put this ball away.
Caesar clears it easily. Joe Caesar, the junior midi who had a goal in their last matchup. One of Darien's 15 goals in that 15-6 win. They've had a great week. Well, every week's been pretty much a great week for Darien.
See a cut from Connor O'Malley out of the box, looking to
couldn't find him.
Looking to get a cut there.
Max Alert providing the defense, the sophomore. It's been a great week for Darien. They beat number 6 Richfield 15-6, then beat number 3 Fairfield Prep 12-7. Off a move, looking for a shot, can't find it as Moore. 30 seconds for Darien to cut the 4-0 scoring run from New Canaan. Finn Picorni can't find what he likes. 20 seconds. Mishandled, but collected by Jamison Moore, the Princeton commit.
Coach B calling a timeout here.
How much can you do with 13.7 seconds left on the board?
Oh, you can see. We'll see.
We'll see. What can Jeff Braymeyer pull out of his
playbook here?
His playbook.
You'd be surprised. I have a feeling we're gonna dump one in.
You do.
You know, when you have a settled offense like that, you're gonna want to keep that and just run something quick here at the end of the first half.
Well, you've got the inside intel, John. You've been in those huddles before in these scenarios. And, you know, I don't think Chip Buzzio or Braymeyer can hear you right now. So what do you feel like is going to be the go-to play here? You have any idea of who he could potentially go to?
I'm not sure. We will see. He's gonna try to sneak it in. You know, you have your leading goal scorers here of Matthew Minikis and Picorni down low. So I'm sure he's going to try to utilize them and sneak one in.
And, Carter, how important is this possession for New Canaan defensively? They've got the momentum right now. Maybe it's not their game, but if they can keep it a 2-goal game heading into the half, riding the run they've got a great chance to come away with this one in the second half.
Oh, a 2-goal differential versus a 3-goal deficit is absolutely just a world difference. And New Canaan would definitely want to keep the Darien offense to a minimum here, and not only are the Darien top goal scorers performing today, but we aren't seeing much of Jamison Moore.
No.
The Princeton commit, multi-sport athlete. I definitely know him on the ice rink. He's actually going to Taft next year with Sam Erickson, taking a postgraduate year before both of them go off to their respective colleges. So let's see if they can get him going.
They got 10 seconds off the timeout. Here's Allegro. Allegro moves right. Flag is thrown. Allegro in trouble. And play is stopped. That is going to be on number 6, Christian Sweeney for New Canaan. So with 2.9 seconds left, looks like the Rams are going to be man up. Or Darien is going to be man up. But can you really get a shot off from that far away with 3 seconds left? Probably not. But heading into the second half, Darien, if they can get that opening possession, it would be huge to start man up. Here's Minikis with it, and he will just drain out the clock, realizing no chance to really get a shot up. And we'll bring it back up to the booth here as Darien, they came out swinging. They gave New Canaan their best punch from the jump. They were up 6-0 in the middle of the first quarter, and then 4 unanswered goals over the last quarter and a half from New Canaan, and we've got a real game here. Both of these teams looking to shore up a potential 1 seed. Darien looking to clinch. New Canaan looking to stay alive with their 8-1 FCAC record. And guys, Carter, what was your impression of the last quarter and a half from New Canaan?
Well, one big difference I've seen is last time these guys played, when I went over to Darien High School, Ted Brennan told me right at the half this isn't much of a game anymore, Carter. You know, Darien is definitely taking the lead here, and that's not what we're seeing here. New Canaan definitely came back, scored 4 unanswered goals. It's a 6-4 game, only a 2-goal differential, and it's definitely a game that New Canaan is in, and it could come back.
And just tell us, John, how hard is it as an athlete? And I know you played for Darien, so you guys didn't trail a ton. But when you come out with such a big lead, and all of a sudden, a few moments later, you just see it's getting chopped away, chopped away, chopped away. How much does that affect you mentally, knowing that you're really starting to blow it in a sense? I know they have the talent and the lead, but obviously that makes you think a little bit too much, and you don't want to force more errors after you go down, you know.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think you know, they're gonna get a talking to at halftime here from Coach B, and you know, he's gonna say, look, clear your head, whatever's gotten into you now. If it's, you know, the game against New Canaan and the hype around that, just focus on what you're doing. You know, we've practiced it a million times. I'm sure they have in the back of their head their Brunswick game where they had, I believe it was a four or five goal differential here at half, and then they ended up letting it go in overtime. So they, you know, they're just going to have to clear their heads here at halftime, focus on what needs to be done, and put some goals away.
It's interesting you say that, John. The New Canaan Darien hype. I mean, last time these guys played, definitely not as many people in the stands as there are now. As I said before, with the COVID restrictions being lifted a little bit, the New Canaan fans are definitely being vocal. So that could definitely play a factor.
Yep. And, you know, as I said earlier in the broadcast, we always talk about, you know, you got to focus on the game. New Canaan's just like any other team. You know, with that record versus Darien's versus New Canaan, we always say it's not really a rivalry when you have that many wins against the team. And, you know, they just got to clear their head and keep that in mind.
This game always has the hype and hoopla, and it always has you people at home tuning in, so we appreciate your viewership. But right now, this is a rivalry game. 6 Darien, the #1 team in the state. 4 New Canaan, the #2 team in the state. And the #1 in our hearts, our sponsors. Let's go to the video. I want to thank our 2 platinum sponsors, starting with Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market, and Rambuya and Harrow, the business of real estate. I want to thank our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, for breakfast, lunch, and catering on 107 Cherry Street right here in New Canaan. I want to thank our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, Rand Insurance, and lastly, our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Sheila La, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prudding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. We are 6 minutes away from the start of the second half here. Darien looking to clinch the #1 seed in the FCAC tournament starting next Monday. New Canaan looking to give themselves an opportunity to maybe steal that 1 seed from right under the Blue Waves' noses. It's 6-4, Darien in the lead at the half. Back from Dunning here for the second half of New Canaan versus Darien boys lacrosse. Ian Nicholas, John Reynolds, Carter Ellis, and the rest of the NCTV crew bringing you the live action. Darien jumping on the New Canaan Rams early, going up 6-0 in the middle of the first quarter, but 4 unanswered goals from the Rams since the middle of that first quarter, and it's just a 2-goal game. Again, Darien has defeated New Canaan in each of the last 8 times they've seen them, dating back to 2015 when it took 3 overtime periods for New Canaan to best Darien. And for the first time in 6 years, New Canaan at home in the middle of a crazy COVID season is looking to knock off the Blue Wave, and Darien looking to improve the 14-1 and lock up the 1 seed in the FCAC tournament. Let's see how it shakes up. Both teams have played really well so far. We've seen a few turnovers here and there, guys, but really this has been a great played game from both sides.
Yeah, you know, this still is anyone's game. 2-point goal differential. We will see, you know, either New Canaan has to bounce back here and start capitalizing on some things, or Darien's going to keep running them over.
So Darien starts with the ball because a penalty from Christian Sweeney late in the half. So they start with the ball and they're man up for the next 47 seconds. So a great opportunity to swing the momentum back in their favor if they come out with good execution and score, and they do just that. Brady Picorni right in front of a crease, snipes one, past Holden Busby, and Darien goes up 3, 7-4.
Yep, you know, that's what we're looking for. I'm sure they got a talking to that they need to come out of this half hot and start their hot streak again. You know, New Canaan's gonna have to figure out how to stop Picorni and stop those key off attackmen today.
So no more man up for Darien, and that was just a brutal penalty for Christian Sweeney to take. But Hayden Shin wins the draw, and the shot goes in. Callum Wood takes him a whole 7 seconds to bring it back to a 2-goal game off the assist from the Fogo, Hayden Shin.
I haven't even been able to say anything yet. I mean, everything's just gone by so fast, so now's my opportunity. I mean, Hayden Shin just got that fast break opportunity like I've been preaching all year, and got it right to Callum Wood. Snipes it right to the left, what it seemed like to the left of Andy Demopoulos, and makes this a 2-goal game yet again.
False start from Ty Comiskey, and Hayden Shin's going to win his 2nd straight draw. New Canaan, talk about just finding a way to respond, guys. They could have easily gotten down on themselves after Darien had a man-up goal and a beautiful game plan to execute to get Brady Picorni the goal. And just like that, they respond, and Chris Connett tries to bounce that one in. He misses wide left. It's still New Canaan ball. But, John, talk about how New Canaan, they've gone blow for blow with Darien all game long.
Yeah, I mean, Darien got their early go here, but New Canaan slowly chipping away back at their differential here.
Ian, I like how you said blow for blow. I mean, we're just seeing this such a tight game. What we saw earlier with Chad Russo and Matthew Minikis running after that out-of-bounds ball. That's a tough hit on Chris Connett.
And Connett
dirty.
Connett is still on the ground in some pain as he kind of ran right into it and got really
O'Malley,
sandwiched by O'Malley. Darien on the other end, and they score! Number 9, Matt Stein, the Colby commit, off the assist from the Princeton man, Jamison Moore. Darien back up 3 goals in the first minute and a half of half number 2. And Coach Chip Buzzio is frustrated as heck at the referee's no call as Chris Connett was smothered on the other end of the field. Play continued, Connett popped up, and just like that, it's 8-5 Darien.
Yeah, you know, you can't give Darien a minute here. Everyone was focused on Connett down there hurt, and you know, Matthew Stein capitalizing on that opportunity.
Connett is as tough as nails, though. I don't know if he's on the field right now, but he should be all right. New Canaan wins the draw. Cognetta misses, tries to get the rebound. He doesn't. Quick fire shot does not drop for New Canaan, and then mishandled by Darien. Coming in to get the loose ball, Matt Stein, and he's laid out by Braden Sweeney. And it's going to be New Canaan's ball.
That is an absolutely amazing way for New Canaan to respond to that hit against their star player, Chris Connett, on the other side of the field. And, John, as you said, everyone had their attention on Connett, after that hit on him, and just let Darien do their thing in the offensive zone. And now New Canaan's bouncing back and seeing what they can do.
And if I'm not mistaken, I do not see Connett on the field right now. Maybe trying to give him a bit of a rest, as he did hit the deck hard. Give his team credit. A few weeks ago, heck, I'll say it, I was caught on a podcast saying this was a one-man New Canaan team, and they are clearly not. They have tons of guys who can make plays and have stepped up and rallied around Chris, and Chris is the leader that was able to galvanize the guys to play to the top of their powers and give them credit. It's a 3-goal game right now, and Chris has only scored one of them because New Canaan is playing like a team, like they should, in a really good pass
Amazing
to Augustine, and Demopoulos doing Demopoulos things, getting the save at the right side of the cage. Connor set up a really good shot for Augustine, and Augustine couldn't convert. Here comes Allegro. Darien clears. 9 minutes left and a half. And they'll slow it down. I do see Connett on the sideline, and he looks like he's ready to get back in there when he can. They've been using them all over the field in this game, Carter, at the face-off dot, trying to get those loose balls. They've been using them on defense. They're trying to get the most out of their UPenn-bound star.
That's definitely a name that these New Canaan fans want to keep seeing on the field here.
And
what a hit by Christian
Sweeney. Taking the anger out on that late penalty that he had in the first half, and then he loses his stick.
Easy foul to be called on Jamison Moore there. Or maybe it's not called on Moore.
It's called on Sweeney. Maybe.
Excuse me.
Goes the other way. Sweeney had it for a second, and the short stick D man lost it. Darien takes over. 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. They've outscored New Canaan 2-1 here in the second half. Moving to his left, number 18, Danny Lau, or Finn Picorni. Here comes Minikis. Minikis working on Stevens, using the shoulder. Dumps it off. Now over to O'Malley. Darien getting in a groove. Spinning away from the cage. Working on Max Alert. Getting an expanded role in this game is the star sophomore.
John, I've definitely seen a more physical game since Chris Connett got hit down in that zone. What have you seen?
Yeah, I totally agree. Anytime a star player like that gets bodied up, it'll increase the intensity level here a little bit. That followed by Jamison Moore taking away, I forget whose stick. Now here followed.
Christian Sweeney,
Speaking of falling, getting out of it though, in Holden Busby makes the save.
Be a crease violation on Darien. So even though Busby saved that, it'll still be an easy New Canaan possession. Didn't matter.
So it was Brady Picorni who nearly fell, popped up, got the pass right near the crease, and then a Darien attackman could not convert, overstepping and turning it over. Good news for Rams fans. Chris Connett back in the game, out for a few minutes, trying to catch his breath after taking a big hit. 6.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. On this NCTV and DAF Media joint live stream, another big hit. Harry Apelt hits the floor, and the flag is thrown. And he's thrown to the floor again by number 8, Joe Caesar. Here's Ryan Coyote. He's been held scoreless. The Bucknell man gets the screen.
Oh, Sam
and he
Harrison
lays
goes
it
to the
out.
floor.
Connett spins into a D-man. Connett spins through 2 men. He shoots,
Wow.
and he scores! Chris Connett. Nothing more needs to be said.
That's Chris Connett. Chris Connett doing Chris Connett things, spinning out of 2 people and going right between Andy Demopoulos' legs. That's an All-American that he just scored on. Not an easy thing to do.
You know, he had one in between the legs. That was against Ludlow. He's had some crazy ones this year. That one is the best from Chris Connett.
Right after getting injured or hurt there for
playing through some pain.
That's his way of
Absolutely
bouncing
insane.
back.
8-6, Darien still in the lead. New Canaan, it's been a 2-2 second half so far. Connect scores his second goal. Now in the early evening of a beautiful day from Dunning, 73 degrees and breezy. Chris Connect keeping it light and fun for the New Canaan fans. That one poked away from Kamitsky, fighting for it on the loose ball. Kamitsky comes up with it. Kamitsky shoots, and he nearly drops it in.
It's going to be New Canaan possession here on the end.
Kamitsky really forced that one up. He found the loose ball, which was great. He wanted to take it all the way, and he couldn't get it in.
This is when tensions are starting to rise for both teams, as it is still a 2-point differential game. But, you know, you always have to revert back to slow it down a little bit, be smart with the ball. Every minute kind of matters, and keep that in mind when tensions start rising here.
5:20 left to go in the third quarter. Ian Nicholas, John Reynolds, Carter Ellis, the rest of the NCTV and DAF Media crews bringing you the live action of this 8-6 game. Here's Michael Norton. Norton moves left, then right. Nick Stiles looking for goal number 1 for him. Stiles backpedals, throws it into traffic. Darien looking to find it. Oh. Connor Bailey can, a heartbreaker, and Darien's number 23, Mac McGarren, does get it on the loose ball.
Nick Stiles, an absolute lefty specialist, did not want to go to his right hand there, and some could say that might have been the culmination of that turnover in that play there.
Mac McGarren with the clear, just a sophomore, I believe, has been seeing some more time on the field in the last few games here.
Coach Braymeyer changing it up, relying on his best players, regardless of grade, as the season winds down. Both one more regular season game to play for both these teams. New Canaan will host Staples on Saturday. We'll have the live stream. Darien will host St. Joe's. And will these two teams meet up in FCX again? That's what everyone would like to see. But let's focus in on this one before we get there. Chad Rousseau with the defense up against number 12, Jamison Moore. Dylan Stevens playing defense behind the cage.
You see Minikish trying to do his classic from X.
He comes from X, turnaround shot. Holden Busby knew it too. He's been watching that film. Gets the save. Off the shot from Matt Minikis. They look to clear. Busby finds Dylan Murray on the other end of the field. 3.5 left to go in the third. High pass corralled by Coyote. Connect's going to check back in for New Canaan. Connect moves left, defended. Coyote. Coyote shoots, and he rips it in! Coyote finds the bottom right corner of the cage, and it's as close as it's been all game long between these two foes. Ryan Coyote finally finds a goal, and it's a beauty, Carter.
Yeah, Ryan Coyote is a sharpshooter for this New Canaan offense, and definitely just freezing Andy Demopoulos. He looks frustrated, and this New Canaan offense is going to keep hammering him.
Shen and Comiskey, it's been a great battle between these two. They can't even do anything there as Comiskey, the junior, another false start. New Canaan's going to look to tie it up for the first time all game long. Here's Max Alert with it.
Ian, I've told you multiple times, the face-off dot is where the momentum starts, and it's amazing that New Canaan has kept it so close, even though Comiskey has come away with 5 more face-off wins than Shen here.
Give New Canaan's offense credit. They've been really dialed in, and even though they have a deficit, they've got the key face-off wins when they've needed them. And the offense has come up big as well. Here's Harry Apelt, finds Augustine.
The skip pass.
Skip pass to him. 2.5 left to go in the quarter.
That's Apelt telling Augustine just to settle down a little bit. Yeah, they got time. They got 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter. An absolutely vital possession to keep the momentum.
This is when you're going to see that.
He
Sam
loses his
Erickson.
stick. Augustine loses his stick. Darien is fighting for it. Augustine is laid out. Whistles are blown. It's a push on New Canaan. It's Darien ball, and Augustine is hurt. He is limping with that right leg. He did have early season ankle problems.
Christian Allegro absolutely dominating the clearing game today.
The ball poked loose. Darien looking to recover. That they do, but still loose.
And Tommy Augustine's going to check out with that ankle injury.
That is a massive blow for New Canaan if he cannot heal up in the next few moments.
Looks like Carter Connors is going to check in for him.
Connor's a more than capable player, but we've seen what Augustine has done down the stretch for New Canaan. He's added another layer to the offense. Connors, the junior, will check in for the star sophomore with a minute and a half left to go in the quarter. Augustine turned it over and could not tie the game up at 8, and then got injured trying to get the ball back. Harry Apelt on defense. Darien moves in. It's loose in front of a crease. New Canaan makes another great play defensively, guys. Busby finds Charlie Borthwick. Borthwick, the Swarthmore commit. Moves it up to Connors. Minute left in the quarter.
We haven't seen a lot of Borthwick today. Charlie's been filling in for Christian Walter, the injured long sick midi. So he's been at the long sick midi position today. Filling in. Chad Russo at the defense position in his absence.
Yep, Christian Walter, the Ohio Wesleyan commit, out with an injury as Demopolis tries to slide and save it. Didn't need to, as that one bounces up and away. Chris Canette looking for goal number 3 on the game. New Canaan looking to add their 8th goal. Callum Wood in some trouble, defended by Bolton. Wood spins out of problems. 30 seconds left in quarter number 3. Connor Bailey's going to take his time as New Canaan's going to look to make one more push to the net. 16 seconds. Bailey's guarded up tightly. He gives it up to Stiles. 10 seconds. Bailey, they can't find him on the cut. Swatted away by Darien. Darien looks to clear. 3 seconds. Stolen by Stevens. Stevens with a heave. It's deflected, and that's the end of quarter number 3.
Yeah, an absolute hawk by Dylan Stevens there. It almost looked as though Sam Erickson could have chipped that ball in, but not enough time to see what could have happened.
What a whirlwind third quarter, guys. New Canaan has really, again, kept themselves in this game even after, John, that early goal from Darien. Just 20 seconds into the half, New Canaan has stuck with their game plan. Coyotes come alive, and a couple of really big hits. It's going to be a phenomenal fourth quarter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's you never know what's going to come out of these Darien New Canaan games, and New Canaan's putting up a good fight here, coming back. We'll see how it all pans out for the Rams, but it's intense on both ends here. Good defense played down there, good offense by New Canaan, and we'll see.
And Carter, you were at game 1. Now you're here. New Canaan didn't look like they belonged in the same league as Darien the first time around. Now they're in it to win it. What has changed?
New Canaan has that chip on their shoulder. They're not forgetting that 15-6 loss, and they're here to play. And, just one thing I know very well are the New Canaan coaching staff. I mean, just absolutely electric. These guys just love momentum. And George Tallboys, Bob Rushton, and especially head coach Chip Buzzio are just really going to try to get their guys going here to come out fast in this last quarter.
Buzzio, the former team captain at Princeton, won 2 national championships as a player there, was a megastar high school athlete right here in town, hockey and lacrosse. He did it all, played under the great Bill Tierney at Princeton, an FCAC champion as a head coach, a state champion 3 times, and 2 times an FCAC winner as a head coach here at New Canaan. Still the defending FCAC champions after defeating Wilton in a really great game 2 years ago. Now here on Dunning 2 years later, looking to end Darien's 8-game win streak up against their arch rival New Canaan. There's Coach Jeff Braymeyer and company on the tight shot. We're ready for quarter number 4. We want another quarter. We want more of this matchup. Maybe we'll get volume 3 in FCACs next week. But in the second edition of this rivalry game, we've gotten the goods. It will be Comiskey and Shin to start us off. In quarter number 4, Ian Nicholas, John Reynolds, Carter Ellis, the rest of the NCTV 78 crew, and the DAF Media crew on this joint production, bringing you the live action from Dunning Field. Hayden Shin pops it up, slides under Comiskey. Comiskey finds the loose ball.
So, John, at the end of that quarter there, the camera zoomed in on Coach Jeff Braymer's hat, and what I understand is that's something that the Darien side calls a lax hawk.
The infamous Lax Hawk, yep.
So for us New Canaan fans who don't really know what that is, can you explain that a little bit?
So the Lax Hawk is a hawk we have around that comes and tends to be around in times of need when Darien is playing a close game, and you never know, we might see it today. We joke Coach B could talk to the Lax Hawk because it knows right when to come. So
Here I thought Jeff Braymeyer was an absolute maniac, and he's having fun with the hawk. I like this.
exactly.
It's a close game, and he needs the ease of tensions for his kids.
You Darien people and your superstitions.
Oh my God! Let's not get into a fight on the field here in the booth. Busby controls that one off the missed shot from Finn Picorni. New Canaan clears. Great defensive possession to start this quarter for New Canaan. Picorni not an easy player to stop, and Carter, give him credit, holding Busby, who had 13 saves in the first game. He's really proving he's a starting goalie in the FCAC in these late games this year.
Holden Busby, even though he's a sophomore, definitely showing off his capabilities. And something notable is Chris Connett checks in, and Tommy Augustine is back in, so that ankle's looking good, and definitely a huge help for the New Canaan offense to have him back in the game.
Yeah, just an injury that he's probably had to play through all year long, that ankle that he sprained in the season opener up against Staples, missed some time, came back in that Darien game, has scored 2 goals, and has been an X factor for New Canaan ever since. Augustine spins left, now right, showing he can still cut on it just fine, that ankle. Here's Nick Stiles trying to work to his left where he's most comfortable. Defended by number 25, David Ivanchik, the future Villanova Wildcat. A wild shot from Coyote, looking for goal number 2 on the game. It is wide, and New Canaan will pick it up. Augustine from the X. Defended by Connor O'Malley. Augustine sizes him up. Falls, trying to spin. Still an 8-7 game. Connett moves right. Connett defended. Connett gets free. Gives it up. Looking for the turnaround shot. Callum Wood. Met by a defender. It's Ivanchik.
As you can hear, the student sections for both teams here getting a little rowdy.
Wood, the wraparound shot, it misses.
The dive from Ivanchik.
To no prevail. It will stay with Nick Stiles and the Rams. But Ivanchik has given it his all on this defensive possession. 9 minutes left in the quarter. 3 scoreless minutes. Stiles works inside. He just misses. Top shelf. Augustine plays back, keeps it with the Rams. Who will be the first team to score in this 4th quarter? Will New Canaan tie it up for the first time all game, or will Darien bring it back to a 2-goal lead?
Sam Erickson.
Augustine, underhand shot, misses, stick side low. Still New Canaan possession.
We can see both team tensions very high. Here's Buzzio calling a timeout. Both coaches from Jeff Braymeyer and Buzzio probably looking to tell their team, slow it down, let's put in some good goals. And you'll see it here with the timeout.
Coach Chip Buzzio, always intense. Mid-game, you could see him from the sideline barking to his team to get huddled up. Carter, what do you think the message is right now on such a critical possession, trying to tie it up for the first time all game long? Darien, 6-0 lead to start. Rams have outscored the Blue Wave 7-2 since. And how do they get goal number 8?
Settle it down. That's the name of the game for both teams here. I mean, they're one amazingly talented defense on Darien, an amazingly talented offense on New Canaan, and there's no reason for New Canaan to rush it here. If they just settle it down, those Darien players will be poised. They won't rush them out there, and just work the ball around until they find the good opportunity to put the ball in the net behind Demopolis.
There's offensive coordinator Bobby Rushton. He's done a great work for this team over the last few years. Also, the head wrestling coach at New Canaan High was a former great player in lacrosse and football growing up in Long Island. And I believe he played his college ball at Sacred Heart, where he was great as well. Laying down the law, settling in the game plan with his team is the OC. New Canaan off a timeout from Coach Chip Buzzio. They have possession. 8:40 left to go in regulation, looking to make it an 8-8 game. Both coaches have been excellent off a timeout today, drawing up beautiful sets offensively. Nick Stiles with possession for New Canaan alongside the far sideline.
He's played by David Ivanchik.
Stiles moves it up to Harry Apelt. Connect back to him. Apelt moves left and drifts away. Apelt moves left, looks to attack. He loses the ball, and it's scooped up by Stiles. Divert the game plan. Apelt looked for the shot, and punishing Darien defense forced it away. Here's Connect, looks for the shot.
Wow.
He finds it. Chris Connect taking over.
Chris Connect with a hat trick to tie up the game. That might be the most important third goal of his career that he's had in a single game.
The hat tricks are just routine at this point for Chris Connect, but that one was special. John, top shelf finish from Connect, moving to his right, and as soon as he makes that first step, it is a problem trying to get in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, even going up against Demopolis, that was an amazing shot and hard to lock down. We've been seeing it from him all game. Believe he has, how many goals? 3 goals today, so we'll see if that continues here.
Shin is going to win a critical draw. New Canaan has just tied it up for the first time since it was 0-0. And now they're going to look to take their first lead. Chris Connect, 3 goals, 2 of them in the second half, playing through some pain. Coyote on the move. He's got a goal himself. Connect comes right back in. Guarded this time by Jeremiah Stafford. Connect again right. Now a half spin. He's doubled. He falls. Flag is thrown. Still fighting for the loose ball.
That'll be the second time David Ivanchik goes to the box. First time for his own foul. The first time for Andy Demopolis, as we said before.
Yep.
Definitely a name that you want to have on your field. You don't want to have him out. Or am I mistaken? Is he going out or is he going in?
Let's see. You can see it around midfield. The ref is talking with Ivanchik, trying to
chauffeuring him out. I don't know what
chauffeuring
he's
him
doing.
away. That's the polite way of saying it. New Canaan is going to be man up for the next, or Ivanchik is going to check out, and they're going to sub someone else in.
Stafford looks like he's in up top. We got Matt McGarren down low, the sophomore.
So Ivanchik is going to check out. New Canaan will be man up for the next minute, looking to score their first man up goal of the game, if I am correct.
It's going to be a 30-second penalty.
So they've got to move quick. Stiles to Apelt. Connect. Can he score back-to-back goals? Maybe not. They're going to get it back to him. 15 seconds left of the man up. They want Chris to shoot it. They give it up to Coyote. 7 seconds, man up. Coyote dumps it off. Turnaround. Oh, off the left pole from Stiles. And it rolls out of play. Still New Canaan possession thanks to Harry Apelt.
It's going to be the end of the
man up.
Man up.
It's such a tight game late, late in this fourth quarter. What we really want to see, I mean, this game is being played for a lot more than just a rivalry. It's being played for the #1 seed in the FCX tournament. So both teams definitely going to lay it all on the line.
Augustine getting into his bag of tricks. Finds Stiles, Callum Wood, jockeying for a position. Here comes Coyote. Coyote's going to rip one in! New Canaan takes its first lead of the game with 6:10 left to go in regulation. Coyote has now scored 2 of the last 3 for the Rams. It's the 1-2 combo, Carter. We've been waiting for them all year. Coyote and Connect. And finally, in this game, they look like the duo that was advertised.
We've seen it. Yep, absolutely. Ryan County just shoots it off the run. These New Canaan players are absolutely hyped up. Love the crowd. This is getting to be an exciting game.
John, what does Darien need to do right now? They need to win more of those faceoffs to get back in it. But Comiskey, he's bobbling it all over the place. Finally, a whistle is blown, and it's a penalty on New Canaan. So Darien's going to get it back. But, John, what do the Blue Wave need to do right now? New Canaan is just playing their game, and they're playing it well.
You'll see. They're just going to settle it down here and start dropping in some nice offense and make it, come back. It's all about that. You can't let it get to your head. Settle it down, as we see here from Connor O'Malley.
O'Malley gives it up to the younger of a Picornis, Brady. 5:40 left to go in the quarter. New Canaan, since it was 6-0, Darien has outscored the Blue Wave 9-2. They came into the half trailing 2, and now they're up 1. They've scored 2 fourth-quarter goals. The shot goes in! It's tied again! Number 12, Jamison Moore, brings it back to a 9-9 game. And Darien all smiles along the sideline. What a critical goal, John.
Yeah, that's what you'll see. I think that New Canaan getting 1 goal up on us is what they needed to have a little reality check here with 5 minutes 30 seconds, or 5 minutes 25 seconds left in the quarter.
We'll talk about finding a way to bring the life back to the sideline.
That's
but there's
for sure.
still plenty of game left. And what a classic it's becoming. New Canaan's going to win the face-off due to the foul on Comiskey. The battle of the 2 best in the state. This time it's living up to the billing compared to the previous matchup of these 2 teams on April 24th. Can New Canaan, for the first time in the last 9 matchups between these 2 teams, get the better of Darien? 5 minutes left to decide who wins this game. Maybe we go into an extra period, but let's not go there just yet. Carter Connors with the ball for New Canaan, the junior. He's defended by number 8, Joe Caesar. Connors, he's got a lot of room. He shoots, it does not bounce in. It will stay in New Canaan possession.
Ian, this is something we were talking about earlier. Just the amount of depth in both of these teams. I mean, we couldn't quite say that Connect is the heart and soul of this Rams offense, with 4 people scoring. But all 4 people on the New Canaan side have multiple goals, whereas on the Darien side, they have 8 players that have scored. They have 7 players that have scored, both Picornis having multiple goals on the game. So just a little bit more depth on that side, which could be a factor in this game for the Blue Wave.
I think that'll be integral here with Coach Jeff Braymeyer going to pull out some of the offense that he knows specific kids shine with. So we will see. That depth will definitely come in handy for the Blue Wave here.
Just under 4 minutes left. Connors looks for a shot, and another one from him will miss wide left. Augustine plays back, keeps it with the Rams. You always hear the great players say it after big wins. When you fill up the box score with multiple names, especially in the sport of lacrosse, that's how you find wins. Getting your team involved and playing it the way it should be played, like a team sport.
Yep, and as we were talking about earlier, when Darien had their big lead on New Canaan, it was more of an individualized game, whereas now you can see that you need to use the whole team and utilize everyone, which I think will be a big deciding factor here with the game wrapping up.
Who will score the next goal? And could that very well decide who wins the game? Connect's got 3. He's looking for 4. He dumps it off. A miscommunication, but it finds the stick of Callum Wood. The ball is loose. Wood finds it, and a whistle is blown. Coach Chip Buzzio calls a much-needed timeout, as the Rams, frankly, were lucky that that one found Callum Wood's stick. He didn't even know that pass was coming. It's a 9-9 game with 3:21 left to go in the fourth quarter. Darien up 6-0 to begin the game. And New Canaan has found the will and the way to make it a tied game. The defending state champ, Darien Blue Wave, the defending state champ, the defending FCAC champ, your Canaan Rams, matched up on Dunning.
Here you see our defensive coach, I believe, Coach Segreta.
Yeah.
Probably talking to the defense, telling them, got to lock it down, play smart. We know exactly what to do. We've been here before. You just need to keep your head in the game and perform here with the last 3 minutes.
Ian Nicholas, former Darien high school player, John Reynolds, former New Canaan player in hockey and lacrosse, Carter Ellis, bringing you the action here. Whether you're tuning in on DAF Media stream or NCTV 78 stream, we appreciate your viewership. We hope you like and subscribe. Follow both of us on social media, NCTV 78 on Twitter and Instagram, DAF.media on Instagram for them. In a game that is developing into the game of the year, really, between the two best teams in the state. Two best teams in the state, yes. Well, not if you include out of conference play, but still, Darien and New Canaan. Darien's only loss of the year up against Brunswick. New Canaan early season losses to Staples, Richfield, and Darien.
And
Left
Brunswick, right?
Well, early season,
yep.
They started 3-3. And then they've won 7 of their last 8. That one loss coming to Brunswick last Thursday. New Canaan with the possession.
Yeah, their only loss against Brunswick. They did lead by 4 goals at the half.
Darien, yep.
Darien did. John, is this something that Jeff Braemar has seen a lot of? Is early game leads?
I think it's more of the other team, them trying to. We have the same intensity the whole game, and then when the other team kind of starts to keep up with it, then that's when Darien needs to utilize the whole team and follow through, which we will see here today, as I'm sure they have practiced since that Brunswick game.
Darien clears it easily. Connect missing off of Coach Chip Buzzio timeout for New Canaan on a turnaround shot. And then it was Connor O'Malley who played back behind the cage and finally got Darien the ball back. They've got 2.5 minutes left. John, do you think they just try to put up the best shot they see immediately, or do you think they're playing for, we're going to put one shot up, and if it doesn't drop, we're going to an extra period?
I think that would be the smart move. I'm sure Jeff Braemar is recommending, as we can see here.
Maybe not. The missed shot will come from number 3, Matthew Minikis, who got a feed from behind the cage. Let's see if they try to slow it down a bit.
As you can see, Minikis looking very poised in this approach, not worried, not stuttering here, looking for the right pass and right shot.
Again, no shot clock in high school lacrosse in the state of Connecticut, if you haven't figured that out all game long from watching. So both of these teams, Darien more specifically right now, can take up all the time they want to find the shot they love. Here's Matthew Minikis, defended by Dylan Stevens. 1:35 left to go in regulation in a tied game. Minikis gets the screen, whistles are blown. It's a timeout for Coach Jeff Braemar. Over 600 career wins for the winningest coach in Connecticut high school boys lacrosse history. And he has now the timeout to provide his team the game plan to try to seal the deal in regulation with 1:29 remaining. Let's bring it to the other huddle, though, Carter. If you're Coach Chip Buzzio right now, preaching defense as a former defensive player yourself, what do you think him and New Canaan's defensive coordinator are yelling to their players right now?
Definitely just lock down, their Darien's most, best scoring players, lock down those Picorni brothers. And as you just said, definitely talking to the defense. You see Chip Buzzio over there talking to the defensive side, because that's the name of the game right now. There's 1.5 minutes left, and if they can keep this a 9-9 game, that's the most ideal scenario for the Rams here. Well, for both sides, actually.
Yeah, I found that interesting just looking into that huddle. Coach Jeff Braemar and Coach Bobby Rushton, give them credit. You think rah-rah with the top coaches in every sport, but those two guys seemed as calm and cool as collected, barking out those orders instead of just yelling their mouths out. Tell me, what is Coach Jeff Braemar like in a huddle as the game is closing and the score is close?
We've been here before. He's very reassuring. This obviously, as you can tell, not yelling, just telling the team exactly this is what we're going to do. We've practiced it. We're here for a reason. And we're on top for a reason. And let's take care of business. So that's what I'm sure he was preaching to his defenseman right here. And hopefully they can execute for Coach Jeff Breyer.
And it is interesting that you said that, and I'm glad that you did. Chip Buzzio rarely ever just, ran us, in practice. He was much more of a hands-on coach, talked to us about the things that we needed to do better, as opposed just to.
Well, that guy does a lot of things really good. Brady Picorni with the go-ahead goal with a minute 19 left. Took him 10 seconds off a timeout to move it with ease and find their megastar freshman, Brady Picorni. John, your thoughts?
See, that's what we love to see. Looks calm, cool, collected, just dropping that amazing goal in. That's exactly what we practice for, and you can't let the New Canaan hype get to your head. You gotta just execute, do your job, and know what you're here for.
It's amazing how calm, cool, and collected he is as a freshman, too, being the top goal scorer for one of the best teams in the state as a first-year high schooler.
Comiskey wins the faceoff and then runs through Hayden Shin. Another timeout will be called by the Blue Wave. They retake the lead 10-9 as the entire team crowds around Brady Picorni. As we were talking about earlier, Jeff Bremer, he always mentions you will not be seeing the field as a freshman unless you entirely deserve it. And it's moments like these where that just shows from Brady Picorni. He's on the field for a reason. Ty Comiskey doing what he does best, winning draws when they need him to the most. Hayden Shin scrapping at it on the turf. Comiskey running through a New Canaan defenders and securing the Darien possession, following the go-ahead score from Brady Picorni with a minute 19 left, and then 8 seconds later, they get the possession right back. Carter, New Canaan is in a tough spot right now as they now trail. And Darien, if they keep possession and they don't make any stupid mistakes, this is their game to lose. Yeah, this kind of reminds me back to when we broke our win streak versus Ridgefield. They got the ball up and they just possessed. It's a game of possession at this point. You don't want to take that shot and risk giving New Canaan a last-minute possession here with 1 minute.
Right. New Canaan just needs to hold off these guys. They need to keep the energy that they've had up until this point, because right when they keep hanging their heads, that's when they'll lose this game. What a game we have here in Darien. If they can just retain possession for the next minute 11, they will pick up their second win on the year up against the New Canaan Rams. This one much tighter than the first, as the Rams took the lead at two separate moments in this game. Let's see on your screen Brady Picorni walking in the field after his amazing goal to put the Wave up 10-9. Play will resume, and the ball on the stick of Christian Allegro, the Air Force-bound junior midfielder. As you can see, New Canaan here trying everything they can to get possession of the ball with their only hope here to. They double Allegro, and the ball pops out. New Canaan gets it off the timeout from Darien. They're going to look to clear it. Here's Max Salert, 49 seconds. Salert racing down the field. He shoots it. He just misses wide left. Salert looking for goal number 1 on the year, and oh, did he get so close. New Canaan's got possession, 42.4 seconds left. The tensions could not be higher with 42 seconds left in this game. This is not, yep. Here comes Ryan Coyote from behind the cage. His team's down 1. Can Darien hold? The turnover from Christian Allegro gifted New Canaan the chance. Absolutely everybody on their feet here in Dunning Stadium. 25 seconds. Styles with the ball. New Canaan looking to settle it down here. 17 seconds. Coyote misfires on the pass. Augustine runs for it. It's a New Canaan turnover. Coyote misfires on the pass, and with 11 seconds left, Darien takes over. Darien going to run it out here, the clock. With 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. It's over. Darien with the win. Amazing showing by the Blue Wave today. New Canaan and Darien meet in what is the game of the year in the FCIAC.
And the second time around, Darien wins again. The late turnover from Christian Allegro put things in doubt. But when it's all said and done,
As you can see, Jeff Buzzio.
Coach Chip Buzzio, Carter, you want to say something?
Yeah, Coach Chip Buzzio just absolutely frustrated with those referees over there. Cannot tell what that's about.
Well, I think we know what it's about. It's probably about how something was called in the waning moments of the game, or maybe what he thought throughout the game. Darien will win this game, 10-9 over New Canaan. Darien, 14-1 on the year, 10-0 when playing FCAC teams, and we need a third game. I think I speak
We'll
for
see
all the
here in the
fans at home
tournament.
as we'll bring it back up to the booth here.
Could not have been a more perfect night here for lacrosse with Darien, with the Darien and New Canaan facing each other. But you know, New Canaan with a little bit of a comeback there. But you know, Darien, as I said earlier, with Coach Jeff Brandmeier slowing us down, telling us, you know, he always says, take care of business. We've done it before. Let's do it again. And then it's those 30-second battles. Let's win. You know, let's win every possession. Focus on the here and now. And that's what, you know, ended up winning it for the Blue Wave today.
And Carter, just bring us through the final 2 minutes of the game, really the final minute and a half, because it looked like Darien had really clinched this game up unless New Canaan made the perfect play defensively. They did. They forced a turnover from Allegro, and then they couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, just a lot of changes of possession. So it was, you know, high intensity, and that just missed pass by Coyote at the end there, just absolutely killer, you know, for the Rams there. You know, they tried to get something going at the last, you know, few seconds of the game, and just, you know, Brady Picorni doing Brady Picorni things, as we said all day. Just had an absolutely amazing shot there. You know, finished the game off for the Blue Wave.
Brady Picorni, the freshman, with the go-ahead shot with 1:29 left to go in the game, and that was all Darien needed to win this game, 10-9. That is your final score. Darien now 14-1 on the year. The unanimous top team in the state stays undefeated in FCAC play and clinches up the 1 seed in the FCAC tournament, which will begin next Monday. New Canaan now falls to 3-4 this year when playing teams ranked top 10 in the coaches poll in Connecticut. They're now 10-5 on the year, and they look to reset and maybe rematch with Darien in the FCAC tournament next week. We'll have plenty of live streaming for you, including both FCAC finals for the boys and the girls. We'll have those live streams. Thank you so much for joining me, gentlemen. John
Thank
and
you.
Carter.
It's a pleasure.
It's great to be calling you games with, well, Carter all year long, and John.
Great to work with NCTV.
I think we'll have another game potentially between these two. If I want to speak it into existence, I will. Ian Nicholas joining you on the call once again. I want to thank the entire crew for making this production happen. Emily Fox producing, both the DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew, and the NCTV 78 advisor, Roman Sobolski, Ben Chulis, and Eva Campbell doing the camera work up top. Ian Nicholas signing off one last time. And before we go, after this phenomenal game, let's get a look at the sponsors. I want to thank our platinum sponsors, Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market, and Rambuya in Harrow, the business of real estate. I want to thank our gold sponsors, Club Sandwich, our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, Rand Insurance. Finally, our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Chihuahua, 84 Sports New Canaan, the New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, the Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prudding and Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Darien stays undefeated in FCAC play this year and improves to 14-1, taking New Canaan's best punch and responding with 1:30 left in this game with the go-ahead shot from Brady Picorni. Darien 10, New Canaan 9. Please stay tuned for our second lacrosse live stream of the game as the New Canaan girls lacrosse team, the top team in Connecticut and the third best team in the nation, matches up with the Fairfield Ward Mustang in their final regular season home game. Ian Nicholas signing off. Thank you so much for joining us in this amazing game. Make sure to like and subscribe to NCTV and DAF Media. We'll see you next week for plenty of lacrosse.